You know, in playing Overwatch for now it's been over a year's worth of time, there's been one hero that I noticed seems to particularly catch a lot of hate from the community, and that's Mercy. And I'm not just talking about obvious reasons, like times where she's considered underpowered or outside of the competitive meta. It makes sense when someone picks a hero in those instances that people get upset with them, but Mercy in particular, even in times where she has been in meta, and even in times where she's been considered a pretty strong hero when it comes to the power scale, she still seems to get a lot of, pardon my French, shit from the community. People constantly rag on Mercy players. You see a lot of complaints about Mercy mains or Mercy one-tricks. I mean, I can't even count the number of YouTube videos and threads that I've seen on this particular topic, complaining about Mercy one-tricks. Now, I think there's a few reasons that really are kind of the core of why people hate Mercy so much, and I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about those here in today's video. So one of the first reasons I believe that people really hate on Mercy is because it can feel like she has a low impact outside of the obvious strength of her res. Anytime you get a clutch Mercy res of 3 or 4 people and it turns the tide of a battle, obviously the impact of Mercy is felt there. But the issue lies if you don't get those huge clutch reses, it can a lot of times feel like for the rest of the game, you're 5 versus 6, because Mercy is just kind of following somebody around, healing or buffing them, and she doesn't appear to feel as impactful in a moment-to-moment situation, and that'll be especially true if, on top of moment-to-moment feeling like she has a low impact, you're not even seeing those clutch reses. You're just getting 1 or 2 man reses, and it doesn't feel as big, it doesn't feel as impactful. Whether or not in totality she actually makes a big difference, and I would argue that in instances and moments in the meta and in time where she has been strong, Mercy is a huge asset to your team. But that doesn't change the fact that it can feel like if you have a Mercy on your team that you are disadvantaged. So I do think that that's one of the reasons why people get upset with Mercy mains. Another one I believe is the idea of one-tricks. You know, you do see a lot of Mercy mains in the higher ranks, and a big part of the reason is because of the way the system prioritizes individual stats and performance in comparison to other people playing that hero. When you get one-tricks of certain heroes, they can seem to rise very fast, and it has been the case especially recently where we've been seeing a lot of Mercy one-tricks in Diamond Masters and Grandmasters, and I think that's frustrating to people because Mercy isn't always the best option. It's not the ideal pick depending on your team comp and what you're playing against, so when you get one-tricks on your team with no versatility, that really hurts the team. You ask the Mercy to switch to maybe another support character or just maybe another character in general, and they say that they can't. Now, this isn't a Mercy specific problem because one-tricks share that same, what I would call, issue of a lack of versatility, which can be frustrating to a team. Even if they're still providing a benefit, nobody likes the idea that a restriction in their team could prevent them from winning. And if you end up losing and you have a Mercy one-trick on your team or a one-trick of any particular hero, that can be a very frustrating situation and cause a lot of hate. And then the final, and what I actually think might be one of the biggest reasons why we see a lot of hate towards Mercy, and I don't think everyone would necessarily admit to this, but I honestly truly believe that one of the reasons Mercy gets so much hate is because she is perceived as an easy to play hero. Now, we're playing a first-person shooter, but we're also playing a game where certain heroes don't require a lot of the skills that many first-person shooters do, namely aiming and trying to get precision shots and headshots and being good at tracking and all of those things. Mercy doesn't require any of that except for the rare occasions where she might pull out her pistol in order to try to finish off some charge and get a resurrect while everyone else around her is dead. She is perceived as a low skill hero, and I think that people dislike the idea of a low skill hero doing well. As I mentioned earlier, we're seeing a lot of Mercy one-tricks in Diamond Masters and Grandmasters because of the way the system is built. And I truthfully think that that frustrates people because they want to feel like only the best skilled FPS players who are getting headshots, who've got great flick aim and tracking aim and all of this stuff, that they should be the ones at the top. And people who don't even have to aim shouldn't be anywhere around there. what I would say to those people is, if you're just looking for a game where everyone at the top has the best aim, I think Overwatch is the wrong game for you. There's plenty of shooters out there. An obvious big one is Counter-Strike Go, where aim is of the utmost importance outside of game sense and situational and map awareness and all of that stuff. Aim is one of the premier things, but Overwatch isn't one of those games. We've got Mercy, we've got Symmetra, we've got Winston, just to name a few heroes that require little to no aim for a majority of the play. It's more about positioning, awareness, and knowing when you should be doing certain things and where you should be and how you should be responding to the flow of battle. But aim isn't a top tier priority. So while I do believe that, yeah, the fact that Mercy players and Mercy mains can rank very high frustrates a lot of people because she doesn't require some of the traditional skills that shooters do, Overwatch isn't a traditional shooter, and come to terms with that if that's something that upsets you. So that's, I think, 3 of the big issues why I feel that Mercy seems to get a lot of hate and has always gotten a lot of hate. Now, I'd love to know what you guys think about this topic. First off, do you even agree with me with the base premise that Mercy is one of the heroes that gets a lot of hate? And do you agree with some of what I think are the reasons behind it? That she can feel low impact, you see a lot of Mercy one-tricks doing very well in the competitive scene, and that there is the perception of her being a low-skill hero. And again, it's not so much that Mercy doesn't require skill, but she doesn't require the skill of maybe some of the other heroes in a traditional shooter sense. All right, everyone, that is going to do it for me here today. As always, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys have a good one, and until next time, I'll see you later.